Okay.
This is amazing seeing you up there.
1998.
That's right. They say we look alike.
I'll take that.
I'm
I don't know
not-
about. Joined by the head coach of the Houston Dynamo, Ben Olsen. Congratulations to the 2023 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup champions. Just one note as we get started. Ben becomes the third coach in Open Cup history to lead two different MLS teams to the championship, joining Siggy Schmid and Oscar Pareja. We're going to start with opening comments from Ben, and then we'll take your questions. Again, a reminder for translation: English is channel 1, Spanish channel 2.
No, I don't have much. We're obviously thrilled with this win. It means a lot to obviously the players, and but you know we're starting in a lot of ways anew at Houston and trying to build something. And as this goes, and we have these little moments of growth, this kind of speeds it up a little bit and pours a little gasoline on what we're trying to do. Credit Ted Siegel, our owner, and what he's done, and Pat Onstead, Asher Mendelson, putting together a really good group and allowing me to get back in the game. So just a great moment for the organization to keep pushing us forward.
Hey Ben. It seemed like it was a tale of two halves for this team. The first half, you guys just came smoking hot, and then the second half, a little bit more conservative. What can you tell us about the first half? How'd you make these?
I think we were so up for this match that we put so much into that, and some really good soccer on the offensive end and on the defensive end, really just dialed in, and that takes a lot of stamina, both physically and mentally, and you get your goals, and then you're a hair more passive in this second half, and trying to find that balance is always tough, in particular when teams are making adjustments and coming after you with more numbers. So, but it shows both of our sides, and we've used at times this year we've been resilient. We've had to grind a little bit and get results that way, and there's been times where we can play in the way we did in the first half. So I wish we would have played the entire game in the manner we did the first half, but that's not reality. And against them, you have to stick your chances, and that's what a common theme against them, because they hang in there, and you see it time in, time out. The late game goals and the theatrics that they bring late in the game. There's a real belief with this team that they don't lose, and so we knew it was going to be a very difficult second half. They get to one. Joseph brought real energy for them, and it was a real handful, and we rode our luck. But they rode their luck too. I mean, we have 3v2s and 2v1s, and we just didn't find that third goal, and when we did, it was offsides.
Good night, Ben. Andrea Llanes from Deportes Total USA. I wanted to ask you two quick ones. Did you take into account fielding your team today the controversy if Messi was going to play or if Messi is not going to play? Did that influence you a bit? And second, when you came to Houston Dynamo, you promised this team titles, you promised to change that mentality, and now you've done it. How are you feeling personally winning your second U.S. Open Cup as a manager with a non-conventional team, as they say? Thank you.
I never promised titles, but it is nice to get one. And I forgot your first question. What was your first question?
About Messi.
Yeah, you know, I think we prepared all week for Messi and Alba, and let's be honest, they're a different team with and without them. But we also heard the rumors, and we had a fairly clear game plan with and without him. They're definitely different when he's not on the field, and I think they missed him tonight, and I think they missed Alba. But that's okay. They're still a pretty good team, and they've put together in a short amount of time an incredible group. And I'm not going to take anything away from our group tonight.
Michelle Coffin from Miami Herald. You answered part of my question. Can you just talk about, you know, obviously they are a different team with and without Messi. What is it that's missing when he's not out there? I mean, obviously the best player in the world, but the other players around him, How do you think they play differently when he's not there? The Miami team, how are they different?
He elevates everyone, and I saw a little bit with when Wayne Rooney came to DC United, and then when he was on the field, it just was different. You were going to battle with a legend, a guy that you can believe in, and has just won everything, and so. But again, I don't think that was necessarily the case. I don't think there was any lack of energy or fight from them. I think it was just, they were missing their best player. If I was missing Hector Herrera tonight, it would have been a different game. So again, but I'm not crying for him. There's still a really good team that we beat tonight.
Ben, obviously, I think that a common narrative around this game was that you guys, weren't given a chance, nobody respected you, et cetera, et cetera. The narrative now might be that people do have to think of you a little bit different, give you respect. I just want to ask how much you even care about any of that.
I think we're used to it, right? Again, I'm seeing that as I said before, we live in that space. And when I got to Houston, everyone said it. It's like, dude, this place, it's there's a lot of disrespect going on, and we're almost invisible, and I saw it firsthand over the first couple months, and again, that's our job. That's what tonight's about. That's what winning games, and that's what trying to get into the postseason's about. Is this progress and this process of us putting Houston back on the map a little bit, and making sure that we're a postseason team that is consistently playing for trophies.
Coach, Matthew Bunch with the Cup.us. Your last major honor as a player was the Open Cup with DC. You won the Open Cup as a manager with DC. You now win it with Houston. What does this competition mean to you as an individual, having the opportunity now to win it 3 different times?
The road to the Open Cup is always a wild one. I've said it many times. We could have lost to Tampa. We were down a man in Kansas City, and they pumped us, and we rode our luck there. Minnesota gave us a red card, and I mean, the road to get here is always a wild one. But you get into the quarters, and you're just like, okay, we made it this far, and we turn it up. What I will say is, I've always respected this tournament. I'm a romantic with it. It means a lot to me. Growing up, the FA Cup and these cups that amateur teams get to play bigger teams, and the bigger teams get the bigger teams. It was always just I thought a really neat concept and idea, and DC United always had success. We always took it in the right way, and we did that this year. The guys, we need to win games at Houston. It doesn't matter if it's an Open Cup. It doesn't matter if it's the League's Cup. To get buy-in as a coach, you need to win games, and that includes Open Cup, and try to change the culture around here. 3 points or advancing in a tournament, it helps in a big way.
What do you think was the difference tactically? Tata just mentioned, Tata Martino, the square used in the midfield with Artur, Hector, Carrasquilla, and Bassi. Do you think that made a difference, that you control the midfield, especially in the first half?
Yeah, I said before the game that's where this game was going to be won or lost. If our central midfield played to their potential, we'd have a good chance of winning tonight. And they did. In particular, the first half, there was some beautiful stuff, led by Hector. Hector, I thought, was incredible. Artur is, I just expect that from Artur every game. The level he was at. Coco is, going north and really driving by guys is a nice compliment to them. And Bassi, it's very organic. We give them a structure to have success, but a lot of what you see is feel and relationships with those 4 in there, and it's organic. It's fun to watch, and they like playing with each other. So that's as a coach, it's a joy to see them when they're clicking.
We'll take 2 more questions in the middle.
2 players that I want to ask you about: Nelson Quinones and Griffin Dorsey. Griffin had a wild shot, powerful shot, almost broke the net. And then, of course, Nelson, he was just so relentless. What can you tell us about those two players?
Take Griffin first. Just is a wonderful kid and a wonderful human. And the fact that he's been on the bench early in the year makes me think I was crazy. So he comes in and he worked at his craft. He didn't sulk. He's a great example of a guy that's out of it, coming in and say, what do I need to do to get on the field? What do I need to work on? Grabbing assistant coaches, doing film work. And he's just a great example for guys to, when you're not in favor, of how to get out of it. And he just put his head down and worked through, and his chance came and he just took it. And at this point, there's no way I'm taking him off the field. He's been unbelievable since he's come on. So shows you so much that I know. And then Nelson, the last few games, I thought Nelson has been poor, and I didn't think he showed up. And we had a nice little chat before this game about what I thought of his last couple games and where he needs to be and where he can go if he takes this in, if he changes his mentality and how he prepares and being a pro. And I told him, I'm not going to let you, stay here when you have this much talent and you can go to some serious places. And that's playing for national teams, both young and the full team. And maybe in a year or two, he has the type of talent to move on. But it's streaky right now. It's normal as a young. He's a young kid, but he's fearless. This was a championship game, and he was nasty.
Back left, last one.
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on winning the Cup again. You started off this journey in St. Petersburg, Florida, and ended it today at Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Since that Tampa Bay game where you believe the team was outplayed, how has the team elevated the level of play?
This has been a real process. I mean, we're coming in with 19 new guys on this team, a new coach, a new staff. I have a new staff, so this was always going to be a process. Did I think it was going to move this quickly? Probably not. I thought we were going to struggle more than we have this year, but we've been taking care of our home games. We got a couple signings right. We brought some winners in here, and people don't. We purposely, by design, brought guys that have championships, whether it's in this league or in Europe. We want guys that are coming from winning cultures, so they understand what the bar is. So that has been I think something we didn't know that was going to kind of propel us, but I think that's a big part of it.
Thanks, Ben.
Okay, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.